everyone and welcome to the Captain's Video Weblog. We are Wednesday, December the 16th, 2015, and the following contest is scheduled for one fall. One fall. Sorry, that was too silly. Yeah. So, why am I doing that? Well, because the whole crowd in London for the NXT Takeover show was doing it, and it was pretty damn cool. I mean, it originates from ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling, which is based in Glasgow, I think. Yeah, in Scotland. Yeah, tonight was NXT Takeover London. I think it was called NXT Takeover London, at least. It was a fairly solid show, with a tremendous first match between what's her name, Asuka, and Emma. A very technical match. I think it went for like 15 minutes, which is very good for a women's wrestling match. I mean, NXT has always been about giving the chance for women to show their stuff, and I don't mean that as in the way women showed their stuff on the main roster, which is totally another thing. It might be fun, but at the end of the day, it's still kind of objectifying women, so not cool. Asuka, I thought that she would get disqualified, but no. I thought that she would lose via roll-up, as the custom, the tradition kind of says when some stuff happens during the match. But no, it was a match where she won with a big fucking kick to the face. Really, that was pretty amazing. Then there was the NXT Championship, the NXT Tag Team Championship match between Dash and Dawson, and Enzo and Big Cass. Enzo, what the hell is he wearing? I mean, he's kind of Kanye West. He's wearing big stuff, lots of weird stuff, but he's so confident that you don't really say anything because, well, I mean, you don't want to break the vibe. Yeah, he's wearing the most ridiculous stuff, and still, he's an awesome guy. So yeah, it just kind of goes that way. At that moment, I was pretty sure that Enzo and Big Cass should have been disqualified because Carmella elbowed Dawson, or was it Wilder? And the referee was watching, so obviously that's grounds for disqualification. But no, and at the end of the day, Dawson and Wilder won the match, so I mean, it was like a matter of a minute at tops after she did that, so yeah. There was another match which was Baron Corbin versus what's his name? Apollo Crews. I heard that some crowd in England chanted "Ooh-ha," which was a pretty common chant when he was still "Ooh-ha Nation," but that's not the case anymore. So that kind of was a dick move, really. There has been botches. There are a lot of things to say about the end of days. As it's been noted, it's basically a reverse rock bottom, which means that you knock yourself out too. Very innovative offense by Apollo Crews. Not that much by Baron Corbin, but that's not what you ask from Baron Corbin. Apollo Crews, there's something he does when he does his standing senton or moonsault. when he flips his head, it's like a hen. His head doesn't move, so that's pretty amazing, really. Uh, you're like, well, whoa, how are you doing all that stuff, man? And it's just Apollo Crews doing Apollo Crews stuff. Uh, I don't want to be. I don't want to go directly to the women's championship match, but I don't think there was any other match between. The first hour it was 2 hours long, and it was in the beginning of the evening, which is pretty good, because usually NXT is at 2 a.m. So it's like, well, I have a class at 9, so I can't really watch it, Just looking at the time. Lighting is weird tonight. So the women's matches, the women's championship match was pretty lopsided. You see the card and you're like, Nia Jax versus Bayley, and you're like, there's no way in hell Bayley is gonna win that, but she did. She made Nia Jax tap out. And I remember when I was seeing vignettes for hyping Nia Jax's debut, and I was like, yeah? Well, we only see like her eye, and she's saying she will dominate, but in my head she wasn't, I hadn't looked a lot at Wikipedia, but if I had, I wouldn't have been surprised when that massive woman entered with her pop music. Using pop music as your theme when you're supposed to be a monster heel makes it tough to sell. But yeah, she's a dominant heel, a tremendous force to be reckoned with. Basically, you don't fuck up, you don't fuck around. She's there, and she mauled the shit out of Bayley, who was accompanied by a nice chant that was. The London crowd was really, really tough tonight. When it comes to chants, there was the one fall every time the announcer said one fall, because, and they did it. The whole crowd across the UK apparently did it during the tour. But you see, that's London and that's on TV. Well, that's on the network, so it's gonna get picked up by Full Sail, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't sound organic enough. London was on fire during the tag team match. They were chanting for Big Cass on the tune of Hey Jude. So yeah, I would have been able to do it an hour or two ago when the match was still going on, but now I'm shit at repeating music without the sound, which is why I'm not gonna go and try and do the musical version of the chant they did for Bayley, which was Hey Bayley, who ha, I wanna know if you be my girl. I kinda did it. I think it's a song that you usually play during parties when you're a teen or a kid. But yeah, wrestling, am I right? Also, yeah, she won, and it was basically a bear hug. She was pulling Nia Jax's head, and at the moment I was like, well, it's a war of attrition that Bayley is waging right now. So yeah, it's either gonna fail or Nia Jax is gonna tap out, and Nia Jax tapped out, which is really impressive because Bayley didn't undersell the match. She stayed on her back for like a good minute, one or two, when the bell rang. After the bell rang, and then when she was standing on her feet, she was like, well, still wobbling, you know. So yeah, that was pretty great. Finally, the main event, Samoa Joe, not Samoa, Samoa with an A. The graphics. Thanks. It's professionalism. Versus Finn Balor. Still, the accent is on the wrong. It's the wrong accent. It's a cute accent. It's an acute accent, not a grave accent. It's the other way. It was. Holy shit! That was violent. That. Whoa! I mean, you know, there's this chant that that was going in the Indies, and that I don't think has caught on that much in the WWE with Samoa Joe, but with everybody else he sort of did, which is kind of ironic. You know, it's Joe is gonna kill you, because Samoa Joe is fucking huge, and he pummeled Finn Balor. He was going to kill him. I was kind of afraid, but at one point he was going to do the muscle buster, and then he decided, no, fuck it, I'm gonna go for the superplex, or maybe a super muscle buster, you know, who knows, because at the end of the day, Finn countered, reverse, whatever, elbows on the head, coup de grace, boom, 1, 2, 3, still the champion. Sami Zayn's coming back next week, but I think that he's not gonna be put in the title picture right away. I think it's gonna be maybe Baron Corbin. I don't know. Yeah. But it was a very busy evening, because before NXT I just had the time between the football match, because there was a football match, a League Cup, well, a Coupe de la Ligue match between Marseille. It was their first match there, and already the round of 16 versus Bourg-en-Bresse. Tough match, because it was two teams with pretty offensive teams, but bad defenses. So the score at the end was 3-2, except Bourg-en-Bresse scored twice on penalty kicks. So yeah, you're like, well, I mean, we're winning, and we cannot hold the victory because the fucking defense backs their shit. Why? That doesn't sound, you know, that's egregious of a task to face a Ligue 2 team and no, 3-2, murmur. Yeah. Mentioning the Coupe de la Ligue makes me think again of the deal that Canal Plus has struck with the football league in France, and I think it's a 2 million euro deal for the broadcasting rights for this cup, which is, you know, among the most hated cups, because it's a cup that only puts the professional clubs, unlike the national cup, which puts every club from the country, so that it also includes clubs from the former colonies, you know, the departments of I don't know the term. I don't know the word. But you know, it's like the departments in the Caribbean and the Pacific, though there are not departments, there are collectivities. So yeah, and now even worse, because for the quarterfinals, it's only teams from the top flight. You know, there's Paris, Monaco, no, Bordeaux, Marseille, Toulouse, Guingamp, Lille, Lorient. There's one other team, can't remember. It's probably something like God damn it, who could it be? Yeah, so it's an interesting cup, and they bought the rights for 2 million euros. It's like the boss, the new boss of Canal Plus, who is a pal of the former president of the country, so one of the most hated men in the country, basically. He managed to, you know, have such a bad rap about him. He threatened to cancel one of the biggest satirical shows, satirical shows here, recentering it on buzz and entertainment, and apparently it's shit now, but nobody can see it because it's encrypted now. Woo! Hooray! He fired the writers that had been there for over 20 years. So yeah, you can expect that it's gonna be shit, even though you could trust them. And now he's got the rights for the shittiest cup in European football, basically. So yeah, you can think that he's basically Bane on the opening scene of The Dark Knight Rises. Crushing this channel with no survivors! And that kind of stuff. But yeah, today wasn't a very good day. I mean, when you fall asleep like 20 minutes after filming that kind of video, and you wake up in the middle of the night, at 4 a.m., you're like, well, I'm fucked. And indeed, I was fucked. I went to do some grocery shopping, and they opened a Starbucks coffee at the mall I usually go to, and like there's everything written in English, and I'm like, we're in France. That doesn't make a lot of sense to write that kind of stuff. I mean, it's interesting stuff. It was like about how they cultivate Arabica coffee in places where it's a bit more complicated, but it's also good for the people who work there. But they write everything in English. I mean, have they not read the memo that says, yeah, the young people in France, they cannot learn English for shit. We are among, if not the worst European country when it comes to learning foreign languages. So yeah, I mean, oh yeah, there's stuff written on the wall. That's kind of, that makes your gears go off, and you're like, what does that mean? Coffee Arabica. Oh yeah, might be a recommendation. Makes me squint my eyes, but you can't really see it because I'm part Asian, so it always looks like I'm squinting. Boy, there was this campaign, this new ad campaign against racism, and I was pretty confused because there was this Arabic dude who was saying, yeah, they say they usually go, hey, you're a gook, and I'm like, no, what the fuck, you're Arabic, man, you're an Arabian, why are you saying that they're treating you like you're Chinese? And there was this white dude who was saying, yeah, they're saying shit at me because I'm black, what? And this black dude who was saying, yeah, telling me to go back to Poland, and I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? This Chinese dude was saying, yeah, they're calling me Gypsy, and I'm like, oh. And then he said, I am of the color of the people who are persecuted, and suddenly it made sense, and it's also a very bleak picture of what's going on in France. So yeah, that, I mean, makes you think. I mean, I don't need to think. I'm Asian. I'm also an Arab. Well, a Berber. But I mean, the French, they don't really understand the difference between both. So yeah, I'm kind of say, yeah, I'm Arab. And well, I'm actually not Arab at all. Anyway. there's nothing much to say about today because it was such a strange day. I saw that Roman Reigns has won the WWE Championship, which means that he's not gonna win the Royal Rumble. Hopefully they don't strip him from the title, because that means he could win the Royal Rumble. And I mean, you saw how that worked last year. I'd rather see him compete at WrestleMania against the winner of the Royal Rumble, whoever that may be. Maybe Dean Ambrose. Who knows? It's a reunification match. I mean, why not? Makes more sense. Makes a lot of sense, actually. Could be John. Oh God, could be John Cena. Jesus Christ, I totally forgot about him. Could be Daniel. No, that can be Daniel Bryan. They said, oh, maybe he's gonna retire. I'm so confused. Who could win the Royal Rumble? Because in this day and age, I cannot think that creative is gonna build up a star from the mid card, because they don't like taking risks. But they could, though. I mean, I'm pretty sure that most of the money WWE makes is not from what's happening in the ring. It's for merchandise, and I mean, the fans will buy anything you put in front of them. That's kind of how that works. I'm pretty sure, yeah, sponsorship deals also. But yeah, what happens in the ring, who cares at this point? Yeah, build up a star, and suddenly, oh, maybe that's gonna sell like hotcakes. I mean, that can go much lower than that. There will always be people who are going to tune in for Raw, for SmackDown, for whatever, despite what the ratings are saying, because at the end of the day, still millions of people. So why not? At any rate, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow, where, I mean, there's a full day of school tomorrow that I really want to attend. Wish me luck. Goodbye. I should do the goodbye while doing that, but I somehow I can manage to do it. Then that's really distracting, you know. It's, oh my God, I have no core.